In 2019, I went to the Blues Festival in Chicago, Illinois, and learned so much from just walking around from tent to tent. I was intrigued by all of the speakers and looked into the deeper picture. This really sparked the fire of live sound engineering for me. I would also attend winter jams. They are concerts from groups of Christian bands performing at the Schottenstein Center. I would always look at the equipment and the workers to see what they would be doing. If you want to be successful, push yourself. Look for opportunities and be open and willing to learn more. You never know what will come your way. When I was young, I was surrounded by talent in my family. There was not one person in my family who could not play an instrument. I can remember almost every night when my dad would play his guitar and sing to me and let me attempt to play along. My mom made all of her kids take piano lessons at young ages so we could play instrument when we were older. But once I picked a guitar up, I knew that was going to be my instrument. Every time I played, I just felt different. It helped me release my feelings through strumming and playing certain notes. I loved playing for my family and friends because I would see them smile when I would play. It always boosted my confidence to play in front of people. It is so important to have a variety of instruments you can play because you never know the situation you may be put in. My brother and I have sparked a fire in our nephews for wanting to play piano, guitar, and possibly drums. Playing music also helps with a mindset of creativity instead of playing on your phones. Every Monday night, my brother's band would come over to practice or record their next album. I would always be in the background watching them, and every time I wanted to be just like them. I thought that it would be so cool to record music and show other people what I have made. They were very generous to let me tag along with them. When I started recording, I didn't know where to go or how to write lyrics. I only had my iPod Touch to record with. For what I did at that age, I will say was impressive for it all being recorded on an iPod. I would always see my brother writing lyrics and taking notes from everything. Now I realize that even nature feeds us so much that we can write from. Finally, I decided to save up and build my own home studio for better recording. Of course, it wasn't the best, but for what I owned at that time, all I could be was content. No matter who you are, you have to start low and from a place it's hard to get out of. No one will be successful immediately after their first album. When I was 15, I joined my church's worship team band. When I joined, I started out playing keys and guitar. I was super quiet and had bad stage fright. The worship leader came up to me and asked if I could play the drums and had me hop in the drum cage to play along. I hadn't played much of the drums before that, and my sister was the only one that had helped me before. Because he pushed me out of my comfort zone, doors of opportunity swung wide open. I opened up and had a much better stage presence and enjoyed playing even when out of my comfort zone. Always be open to others' opinions and what they have to recommend or even say to you. If it wasn't for him, I would not know how to play the drums at all. After I played on the worship team for main services, I decided that I would like to lead worship. My church asked me to lead our youth group, and I took up on the opportunity. It taught me how to be a good leader, respect, and how to organize events. In order to have others on the team, you have to be nice and respectable because no one wants to work with a jerk. After a year of leading worship for our church using an analog board, I went out of my comfort zone and asked if we could upgrade the soundboard. And surprisingly, they were all for it and bought the X32 Compact. When it came in, I was the only person who had the time to set it up. I was nervous because I had never set up a soundboard and route much of anything, but I learned and now I can do it easily. The youth pastor was excited when we bought the new soundboard and decided that she wanted to add some flair to the stage. So we got some stage lights that were good, and when we got them in, I thought, great. Here's another problem. I don't know how to set up or run lights. So I asked our main coordinator for help, and he gladly helped me through all of my problems. Last Christmas Eve service, we had one of the best crews ever. Everyone played well, and we had the best sound guy ever. But news came around that he would not be able to run sound for the church anymore. It was some sad news, but they came to me. It was a hard decision because I loved playing on stage, but I knew that it was something I needed to do. Right when Jared left, I stepped in and filled his position. I now run sound every weekend and some extra events that our church may have. I've never learned so much from this experience, and I'm still learning so much every week. Without running sound, I don't know where I would be in my career and my life. While running sound and recording at home, I discovered that I have very similar mixes. Just because you are put in two different scenarios does not mean you can't put the two together. No one wants to listen to what you have to offer if it's a bad mix. So if it's important to know what is more important to put out there and at what level. I have found a love for music that I didn't know I had. Music is the driving force of one's emotions and what they are feeling. Normally, you can tell the type of mood someone is in if you hear what they are listening to. It is so important as a songwriter to create music from your feelings. It adds a great story to the song and has a powerful effect over the people. No matter where you go, music will follow. From automobiles to stores, music will be there. I believe that what we listen to can affect how we act in our everyday life. It is so important to listen to positive things more than negative so you won't discourage others without knowing it. Be the person to encourage, not discourage. A kind word goes a long way. I believe that we should encourage the younger generations to get involved in music. It teaches you how to have creative minds and be organized. A fire can't be started unless we are that spark. Words of encouragement can go a long way and may lead to something in that person's life that we may never know of. I'm so glad that I've had the opportunity of a lifetime to run sound for the church next door and work with a great team. When you have a group of creatives, you can accomplish anything you want. I chose to do music because it starts a spark of creativity in me and allows me to create an atmosphere of emotions for others to experience.